Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, self-sufficient centres, the province's proposed regulations for new AI data projects. Provincial recall procedures, the steps needed for voters to remove Alberta MLAs as more petitions are approved. And building brief, the majority of Edmonton's construction projects reportedly on time and on budget.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The provincial government is making it easier for tech companies to open data centres as long as their operations do not draw power or water away from public infrastructure. CTV's Connor Hogg joins us now with the latest. So, Connor, what kind of projects would fall under these new regulations?
Matt, the province says proposed AI data center projects that are able to generate their own power will be prioritized going forward. AI data centers are large facilities that house computer processors that increase artificial intelligence processing power and data storage. The centers rely on large amounts of electricity and require cooling, often using water. The founder of Canadian-based firm Bocaron Security tells CTV News large data centers can consume as much water as a mid-sized municipality. The province says it's prioritizing projects that promise to power themselves so that a strain isn't put on Alberta's electricity grid or its natural resources. Utilities Minister Nathan Neudorf says fears about a so-called AI bubble are unfounded, as Alberta wouldn't be on the hook financially. Neudorf also says there's no need to worry about a future without AI, where large projects are left abandoned like Alberta's orphaned oil wells.
The way we're setting this up, where proponents bring the power that they need to use and they set up those agreements, Alberta itself is quite insulated against those potential futures. And if there are market ups and downs like there is with every market, again, it is not the public purse that is holding that responsibility, it's private investment.
The province says businesses, not the public, would pay for necessary transmission upgrades if they're needed. The province says it's basing its rules on issues raised in previous data center locations, where those centers drove up power costs and used large quantities of water. The province says the new rules will apply to projects going forward. Previous projects have been approved with existing grid capabilities factored in. According to the Alberta Electric Systems Operator, 37 data load proposals are already in various stages of approval in Alberta, and to accommodate all of them would take twice Alberta's current electricity demand. The province says it's unrealistic to assume that all 37 of those projects will be completed. Matt?
All right, CTV's Connor Hogg live in studio tonight. Thank you. The Alberta government says it will use artificial intelligence to draft a forthcoming piece of legislation. AI will be used to write the upcoming Alberta Whiskey Act. The bill will define the standards and requirements for a product to be legally labeled as Alberta whiskey. Service Alberta Minister Dale Nally believes this is a low-risk way to try out AI for this purpose. He says humans will be checking the legislation along the way. Elections Alberta has approved another 5 recall petitions. That brings the total number of UCP MLAs who could face a recall vote to 14. CTV's Naramanisa explains the other steps needed before that could potentially happen.
I think recall is good. I think this recall action will fail.
Yes, I am one of them. Obviously, I'm not very comfortable with it, but I feel like I'm a very hardworking MLA.
Recall petitions were issued for 5 more UCP MLAs on Tuesday, making 14 UCP MLAs so far on the recall list.
So more than a third of their caucus is up for recall with more to come. I don't know how successful these petitions will be, but certainly they are incredibly destabilizing.
Process-wise, we've gone through, stamped it.
The recall petitions are handled by the Elections Alberta team.
Our office is definitely busy with the intake of recall applications that have come across our desk.
Jennifer Muskowski says there are many steps after the petitions are issued. When an MLA recall petition is issued, the person behind the petition has 3 months to collect signatures in the riding that are equal to at least 60% of the votes cast in the 2023 election. If that happens and the signatures are verified, voters in the constituency will be asked, should the MLA be recalled? If more than half say yes, the MLA is removed from its seat and a by-election has to be held within 6 months. Earlier this month, Elections Alberta asked for more than $13 million to help with verification work. At the time, there were only 4 petitions. A legislature committee only agreed to $1.5 million more.
Elections Alberta does have an appointment in the coming weeks to present our budget to our standing committee, and so that's where we are.
The recall legislation will take some time for the next steps. Nair Misa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Nearly 20 people, police say, are connected to a new outlaw motorcycle club in Edmonton have been arrested. Police say the One Order MC is closely aligned with the Hells Angels and has chapters across eastern Canada. Drugs, guns, and cash were seized in raids at 40 locations in Alberta and British Columbia by the Edmonton Police Service, RCMP, Alert, and BC Special Gang Unit.
We assessed that the presence of this club in Edmonton would pose a threat to our city. These are criminal organizations that are associated with trafficking in firearms and in drugs to the detriment of the safety of our communities.
7 people from Edmonton and the surrounding area face dozens of charges, including firearms trafficking and commission of an offense for a criminal organization. There have now been 31 deaths on the streets of Edmonton this year. That's the most since the city introduced the Vision Zero traffic safety program 10 years ago. Next week, as part of budget talks, Council will debate a funding boost for traffic enforcement. After Vision Zero saw some success at reducing deaths and serious injuries, those numbers have been rising the last few years. Mayor Andrew Knack says provincially imposed restrictions on photo radar have contributed to more dangerous streets. He believes a dedicated team of peace officers could help reverse the trend. Community Standards peace officers already perform thousands of traffic stops each year, though it is primarily a police responsibility.
Having a dedicated traffic safety enforcement team that works 7 days a week, morning to night, that can hold folks accountable for unsafe behavior, because along with all of the work that we're doing on street labs and roadway redesign, there does need to be an enforcement component to this.
The most expensive version of a traffic safety team would cost $6 million for the first year. If funded, the new team could be in place sometime next year. With the weather turning colder, it means drivers will get a reprieve from some of the construction in Edmonton. $1.5 billion was spent on projects this year, from LRT expansion to bridges and roads and neighborhood renewal. CTV's Amanda Anderson has an update.
There you go. Instead of cutting a ribbon, the tradition of uncoupling a fire hose marked the official opening of Edmonton's newest fire hall in Blanchford.
Now the formal handshakes are done, the plans are rolled up, the doors are open, the trucks are ready, and our watch has begun.
This emissions-neutral fire hall is one of nearly 60 projects the city completed, out of 200 that were in the planning, design, or construction stages at the start of the year.
Vast majority of those projects completed on schedule and on budget.
The city says 80% are on time, 90% on budget, but could not tell us which projects are behind or over budget. A few of the major projects completed include Warehouse Park and the Beaver Hills Bridge, with the Coronation Park Sports and Rec Centre among the projects almost done.
Edmontonians are also eagerly awaiting the completion of the William Howerlick Rehabilitation Project, which is anticipated to open early in the new year.
The city is also celebrating what it calls significant progress on the LRT lines, from the Capital Line South to the Valley Line West.
And all 6 intersections that in that plan being reopened on or ahead of schedule. Many of the roads along the LRT alignment are now in their final permanent traffic configuration.
The mayor says so many construction projects happening at once is the result of years of underfunding and rapid growth.
We heard Edmontonians loud and clear. There has been a real impact to the amount of construction, and I don't see that changing anytime soon because of how rapidly we're growing and all of the renewal that needs to happen.
We're really working with industry and with all of our teams to really unlock those innovative approaches to find solutions that really allow for we know it's disruptive. How do we limit that disruption and be as efficient as possible in getting projects done?
Despite those efforts, there's no promises it won't be another bumpy road ahead next season. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Josh, I wonder if all the mild November weather is contributing to those construction timelines. Another pretty warm day out there, considering we're just a few days away from December.
Yeah, +1 for a daytime high today. We talked yesterday, and I even wrote this morning in the weather blog on our website that we probably had seen the last of our above zero daytime highs. Well, we got one more today. And you know what? It actually looks like maybe Monday we sneak back to +1. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. We're at -3 downtown Edmonton right now. South of the city, it has cooled off very quickly. Already backed off to -8 at the airport. -9 is where we started today here in the city, right on par with average and above average this afternoon by 2 degrees. As we got to +1, that now brings us to 20 red spots on the temperature calendar, 20 warmer than average days. The rest of this month, though, probably comes in colder than average. Clear skies across most of central and eastern Alberta through the day today. You can see this increased cloud cover here off to the west. We'll see a bit of that cloud slide through the Edmonton region through this evening. It's not going to be anything all that significant through the overnight period. Tomorrow, I think we probably get a little more cloud cover, so we'll call it a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. Start the day a little chillier than it was this morning. It was -9 this morning. We'll be in the -12 range tomorrow morning, closer to -14 outside the city, and -5 or -6 for a daytime high tomorrow, and it gets even colder into Friday, Saturday. We'll talk more about that, let you know if there's any snow in the forecast as well. All in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, new at the zoo. A look at the changes and improvements being made at the Edmonton Valley Zoo.
Animal well-being is the principal underlying theme and priority for this plan.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The final season of Stranger Things premieres Wednesday. A local film professor analyzes the show's success, and ultra-processed foods declared a global danger. We talk about the risk and what to do about it.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The Edmonton Valley Zoo's red pandas are enjoying their upgraded outdoor habitat, which is now open to visitors. Plans are underway for other animals, including Lucy the elephant, to also have their spaces upgraded. CTV's Sasha Petramala has more on the zoo's 15-year plan.
Kiki, the red panda, enjoys a snack in her recently refreshed enclosure.
That's my problem.
The upgrade, Himalayan-inspired, with new climbing structures, boulders, trees, and shrubs. More habitat upgrades like this are included in the Valley Zoo's new 15-year plan.
Animal well-being is the principal underlying theme and priority for this plan.
Improvements for the existing animals are just one part of the plan. It's also hoped the zoo can be home to many new species, with a particular focus on animals suited to the cold.
Coastal Arctic is really a coastal story. We want to really focus on water. We're looking at doing puffins and mures. We're looking at taking the zoo's already existing reindeer and Arctic foxes and doing an exhibit there.
An even bigger undertaking for the proposed coastal Arctic space, bringing in polar bears and sea otters. The plan includes a large habitat for these animals, with an indoor and underwater viewing area.
Most people have polar bears, and the chances of most of us getting to see a polar bear in our lifetime or care about them or contribute to them, unless you are going to the Arctic, you're most likely not going to see them.
One of the zoo's most beloved and controversial residents, Lucy, is also getting a new home. Officials say the 50-year-old elephant is moving to the space the Grevy zebras just moved out of. Construction to make this place Lucy-friendly is set to start this spring.
That means expanding her indoor facilities and her outdoor facilities.
The other improvements, which also include an aerial trail, education center, restaurant with a view, and parking lot revamp, are at least 5 years away and still need funding.
It's in the hundreds of millions of dollars, but again, that's why we've been strategic and are phasing the approach.
The Valley Zoos Development Society says by releasing this plan, it hopes to inspire both private and public investment. It says any funding request to council won't be until after the 2027-2030 budget cycle. Sasha Petramala, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is moving forward with a new program for people with disabilities who want to join the workforce. The Alberta Disability Assistance Program would run alongside the existing Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped program known as AISH. ADAP will allow disabled Albertans who are able to work to gain employment while still receiving financial benefits. Social Services Minister Jason Nixon says the program is intended to open up opportunities.
We've heard the importance of providing pathways to employment for individuals who are able to work but still need the support of benefits. That's where ADAP comes in. It's a program built explicitly to support Albertans with disabilities who are able to work, empowering them with tools and resources they need to gain new skills and work to their full potential while continuing to receive the benefits that they need.
ADAP is scheduled to launch in July of 2026. Still to come tonight on CTV News, cashing in on cannabis. A look at how much tax revenue Alberta has collected since legalization.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Next summer's Big Valley Jamboree will feature a country music staple. Keith Urban will be back to headline BVJ. He'll be joined by Old Dominion and Riley Green. Big Valley Jamboree takes place July 30th to August 2nd. Tickets are on sale right now. Still no snow out there, Josh.
Are you one of the people that would like to see some snow to go along with cooler temperatures?
I don't know. I'm hit or miss. Some days I'm like, I could go for some snow, and then I have to scrape off my car, and I'm pretty over it at that point.
It's a real split. There are lots of people that are happy. There's no snow outside on the ground. There are many lamenting the lack of snow. If you're in the latter camp.
Is that on your calendar?
Yes, I've been reading the dictionary. If you would like to see some snow, there's good news in the long-range forecast. We'll get to that in a moment. Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right over the tree. -3. You don't think I'm smart enough to just pull lamenting out, Woodman? -7 in Grand Prairie, -8 in Fort McMurray. It's -12 in Red Deer right now. Clear skies for most of the day. There's a little bit of cloud cover off to the west. We'll see some of those clouds spill through this evening. I think most of the cloud cover is going to hold off until tomorrow morning, though, and even through the day, it's no more than a mix of sun and cloud. A lot cloudier further north. You get some snow, especially late in the day tomorrow, into tomorrow evening, in through the Peace Country, and then as that kind of drops off to the southeast, it doesn't look like much. But we're overcast for Thursday, and we could see some occasional flurries or pockets of light snow. I don't think there's going to be any really significant accumulation, but we might see some flurries Thursday. That's not the good news. Let's take you through the long range. Into Friday, this Arctic high pressure system behind that chance of flurries Thursday starts to drop in. I think as the flow gets squeezed between that and this pair of low pressure systems to the south, all of this heavier snow is going to be in southern Alberta. It could be another wallop for parts of southern Alberta on Friday. Then Sunday, a little push of some warmer air gets rid of the coldest air. Friday, Saturday, we're around -10 for daytime highs. By Sunday, should be back in the -4, -5 range. And Monday, up around 0 or +1. But you see this series of low pressure systems that drop in from the northwest almost every single day next week. There's at least a chance of seeing some flurries or some snow. So I think we may not have snow on the ground when we start next week, but we'll probably have snow on the ground by the end of next week. -12 in Edmonton tomorrow morning. Should be around -13s, -14s across the northeast. -15 in through High Level and Peace River. You'll only get back to -11 in High Level tomorrow. -8s, -9s in northeastern Alberta. There's a fog advisory in effect for the Bonnyville Cold Lake regions. Vegreville probably wakes up to some fog tomorrow morning. -6 in Grand Prairie. Jasper, -2 Jasper town site. A little cooler up Marmot Basin, and they've seen a ton of snow over the last little while, and so Marmot Basin officially opens tomorrow. Here in Edmonton, -12 to start. We'll get to about -6 around 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so a lot cooler than it's been for a while. -7 range with that chance of flurries on Thursday. Highs near -10 for Friday, Saturday. And then that little bit of a warm-up back to -4 Sunday with a chance of flurries. And look at this. Every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, has a chance of some snow. And temperatures, not bad. Somewhere in the -2 to -5 range, middle to the end of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. New tax information shows the federal government and provinces have taken in more than $5 billion in tax revenue since cannabis was legalized 7 years ago. The feds collected a little more than $1 billion. Alberta raked in more than $1 billion in tax revenue, second only to Ontario. Alberta also collected the most per capita tax revenue of any province, pulling in about $210 a person. The next closest number was Northwest Territories. It collected nearly $136 a person in cannabis tax revenue. The information was made available after a Conservative MP requested a breakdown of cannabis revenue. Credit agency Equifax says credit card balances are expected to peak in December. Missed payments are already on the rise as we head into the holidays. The agency says nearly 1.5 million Canadians missed a credit payment in the last financial quarter. That's up by 40,000 people from the previous quarter. The report also found delinquencies are up among younger consumers, especially in major cities like Toronto and Vancouver. When we return on CTV News, from reading the play on the field to reading books to students in school.
When a special guest comes in and reads something new, it's a novel for the students. And
help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
The Edmonton Oilers play their first home game in more than 2 weeks tonight. While the Oilers return to Rogers Place, forward Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't ready to return from his injury just yet. Head coach Chris Knobloch says Nuge could play Saturday against Seattle. Tonight, the Oilers face the Dallas Stars. Glenn Gulletson, who was an assistant coach in Edmonton for 7 seasons, is now the Stars head coach. Knobloch says that won't change his game plan.
You know, I think there's a lot of coaches are familiar with what we do just because of how many times we've played against them.
You know, we got to come up with some new tricks that he doesn't know about. So, you know, I got to see him in Dallas a little bit. Always nice catching up. You know, you're certainly happy for, you know, his personal situation and becoming a head coach.
The Oilers lost to Dallas in a shootout earlier this month. Tonight's game begins at 7 o'clock. Stuart Skinner will get the start and goal. Story time at a local school featured a familiar face from the green and gold.
Did I write it? No, I'm an athlete, not an author.
Edmonton Elks defensive back coach Aaron Grimes read "Not Without My Teammates" to the kids at St. Maria Goretti. It's part of Read In Week, an annual event across Edmonton schools promoting literacy and a love of reading.
I think it's important to let these kids know that no matter how old they get, you know, to continue to read, exercise their brain, and just expand their knowledge.
when a special guest comes in and reads something new, it's a novel for the students, and they really enjoy being able to hear people's perspectives on how much they liked reading when they were growing up and how they feel about the story that they brought.
Read In Week was postponed this year due to the teacher strike. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.